What are your goals? This is a question that we're asked basically from the time that we're born all the way until the time that we die. And it's a great question. The reason we ask that question is because it gets at the heart of what drives people, what people care about, and what they're passionate about. Imagine that you're on a soccer team. You practice almost every day. You run for miles, you lift weights, you do shooting drills and passing drills, and you do that all for the purpose of winning games, because that is the goal of the team. Or maybe if sports aren't your thing, think about if you were in a band. You'd rehearse and practice for hours, and then you'd go back home and you'd have that one tricky spot in the song, and you'd practice that part over and over and over again, driving your family crazy. But eventually, you would create some really good music because that's the goal of your band. Now, goals drive us even on a subconscious level that we're not thinking about. For example, all of you probably ate something today. Now, you might have eaten because you were hungry or maybe because you were bored. But the reason that you ate is because your body was telling you, feed me. I need food in order to survive, because that's the goal of your body. Or think about the clothes that you're wearing. Some of you want to stand out, others want to look good, some of you want to be comfy, maybe you're just lazy and you picked whatever clothes weren't dirty. Whatever the case though, even the clothes that we wear have a purpose behind it. And so as you can see, goals drive basically everything that we do, whether we think about it or not. And when we think about goals in a group setting, another word for that is vision. Now, I'm not talking about Marvel superhero vision, and I'm not talking about what you go to the eye doctor for. But this vision that I'm talking about is the ability to see where we want the group to go, to see why the group does what it does and what the goals of the group are. And so for youth group, it's no different. I have a vision for youth group, and I want to share that with you so that we can be on the same page. And I made it really simple so it's easy to remember. Our vision in youth group is to pursue Jesus, to connect deeply, and to change the world. Pursue Jesus, connect deeply, and change the world. So how do we go about doing that practically? What does that look like? Well, when we come here on Sunday nights, what we're doing is we're learning about who Jesus is, what he's done for us, what he's continuing to do, and who he's calling us to become. And we're exploring that together. We're asking the hard questions, figuring out more of who God is. And as we do that, we also start to push ourselves to be more like Jesus, to do more of what he has commanded us to do. And we do that because we know that Jesus came to this earth, he lived a perfect life, and he died for us. He died so that all of the wrong things that we've done in our lives, all the bad things that we've done and will continue to do, he forgave. He forgave it all. And not only that, but he wants us to be in a relationship with him. That's crazy. Think about it. God wants us to be in a relationship with him, and he's the creator of the universe, the person or the thing that is in charge of everything in this world. And so that is what youth group is about. We are pursuing Jesus to figure out more of what God is doing and how we fit into all of that. So secondly is connecting deeply. We want to do all of this learning, but we don't want to do it by ourselves in an isolated place. That's really hard to do. Instead, we're going to come together and create genuine friendships, genuine relationships that allow us to encourage one another and challenge one another and really get to know each other on a deep level. You see, the way we're going to do this is we're going to have what we call life groups. And the reason we're calling them life groups is because this is a place where you will be able to do life together and walk through life with your friends. And so we're splitting up our life groups by age and by gender. So there will be high school guys, middle school guys, high school girls, and middle school girls. And in those groups, hopefully you can create friendships that'll last a lifetime. I can tell you from personal experience that I've been in a lot of small groups like this, and they have completely changed who I am as a person, and they've given me some friends that will be my friends forever. And so that is my goal for youth group. I don't want us to just be friends here on Sunday nights. I want us to still be friends even throughout the week. I want our life group to be the people that we hit up whenever we're going through a hard time or whenever something really exciting happens in our lives. So that is how we connect deeply in our youth group. And finally, as a youth group, we want to change the world. Now, that seems almost like an impossible task for just one youth group to do. How can one youth group change the world? But think about the impact that you, as an individual, can have on someone else. The things that you say and the things that you do can tremendously change another person's life. I can't tell you how many times someone has come up to me and said, "Ian, that thing that you said or that thing that you did really impacted my life." And many times, I don't even remember what I did. But the fact of the matter is, I made a difference in someone else's life, even though I didn't know it. And so in order for us to change the world, we have to all have this mindset that we can do that together. And beyond that, we need to step out of our comfort zone and start to do stuff. And so in youth group, we're going to do stuff. We're gonna go and we're gonna serve our communities and help those in need. And we're gonna go share with our friends and our classmates about who God is and what He's doing in our youth group. And when we do that, I really do believe that as a youth group, we can go out and we can make a difference in the world. So those are the three things that I want our youth group to be rooted in. Pursue Jesus, connect deeply, and change the world. And I hope that by saying this, you can now go out and when your friends ask, "Why are you in youth group? Why do you go to church on Sunday nights?" You can tell them, "I go there because I want to pursue Jesus, to connect deeply, and change the world." And you don't have to say it like that. You can say it in your own words in a way that makes more sense. But I just want to give us those three things to make it really easy for us to remember. And as you've noticed in the course of these 5 minutes that I've been talking, I've repeated those three things over and over and over again. And the reason I'm doing that, and the reason I'm going to continue to do that every week, is because the fact of the matter is, vision leaks. And so I have a demonstration for that. Imagine that you are this cup, and that the water in this pitcher is vision. I'm pouring out this vision into the cup, and I'm filling it up. And so the cup is full of vision. But as you can see, the cup is leaking, and eventually, all of the water will leak out. And when that happens, the cup is left empty. And when it's empty, that means there's no more vision. That means that you don't remember anymore why we're doing what we're doing. But if I keep repeating our vision and I keep hammering that in, it's like I continue to pour this water. And if I keep pouring it, even though the cup is still leaking, it's still staying full, and eventually it'll start to overflow. And once it overflows, then that cup can be poured into another cup. And then that cup can be poured into yet another cup. And that's when some really cool stuff starts to happen. When our vision is so ingrained within us that it becomes to spread, our youth group can become a place where we're driven not by a checklist of things to do, but we're driven by real purpose. We know why we're there, and we know why we're doing what we're doing. And so when vision overflows, it has the ability to change people and change our lives. And so I want you to ask, when you're in youth group, how does what we're doing accomplish our vision? How does this help us either pursue Jesus, connect deeply, or change the world? Those are the conversations I want you to have. Because when you can really understand why you're here, that makes a huge difference. I want youth group to be so much more than just a place for us to come and to hang out, to have fun, and to sprinkle in some Jesus. I want it to be a place where we can be intentionally there, a place where we can figure out life together, figure out God's plan and how we fit into that together, and then go out and change the world and share that with everyone around us. And so I'm really excited to do that with all of you. I'm excited to be here, and I think that when we do it right, we're all going to grow more into the person that God wants us to become. And that's a really amazing thing.